Most traders mess up the trend lines because you draw them anywhere through its noise and random candles. But if you want your trend line to actually tell you market direction, here's how to draw it the right way without confusion.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun.
In this episode, I'll be helping you break down how to draw perfect trend lines that help you spot high probability entries and avoid fake setups. Now, the first thing you need to do before drawing a trend line is to identify the trend. And for you to identify the trend, you don't draw the trend line just like that. First of all, know the trend that is currently going on in the market. Is it an uptrend or a downtrend? Currently here we have a downtrend. And how do you know a trend? Either if it's an uptrend, you see successive takeout of higher highs and higher lows, or if it's a downtrend, you see successive takeout of lower highs and lower lows. So currently here we have price taking out lower lows, which means what? We're in a downtrend. We have this one here. Price is taking out this low, taking out these lows also. So what we now want to do is now to mark their highs. We want to look for the ones that price took out the highs that took out previous lows. Those are the highs you actually want to mark. And this one. So to actually get this one straight now, you want to connect at least 2 to 3 highs or lows because we're actually trading down till here. So you want to connect 2 to 3 highs or lows, which are this. You may be wondering why I didn't use this one here. This is also a high, but it's not corresponding in terms of relevancy to the current chart here. So you use this one, and even this one that is here is not also corresponding to the current chart here. And this process is called relevancy test. So you always want to use the most recent high that took out the previous low, which is this high here that took out the previous low, which is taking out this low, or which is about to take out the previous low. Because inside these trends here, inside here, there's another trend line here. This trend line is for 1 hour. If you watch this high took out this low, inside here also there's also a trend line here that took out previous lows here. Also here, same thing. So you want to do what? You want to mark the most recent one, which is this high here that took out, or that's about to take out this low. That is this here. And there you have it. Most people actually look for a perfect trend line, and this looks like one. But I won't advise you to always look for a perfect trend line. I will advise you to look for a trend line that aligns with market structure, market direction. Because currently this trend line here is aligned with this structure here that price took out this low. You see it? The price took out this low, and the price also took out this low here, or these lows. When you have your training of this, you have other things to look out for, not just looking for price to touch a particular point of the trend and then you are looking to sell. Now if this price comes back here to touch this trend line, you are sure that price inside the previous resistance and has tested your trend line, so around here, so you can short or win lesser. So I'm actually doing this on the 4 hours time frame, but to replicate this exact same thing on 1 hour, then wait for the third bounce, which you're supposed to wait for somewhere around here, or even lesser, or even lower on 15 minutes. You see, you're supposed to do this on 4 hours, take it to 1 hour, replicate the same thing, then wait for the bounce on 15 minutes to take your entry. Then on 15 minutes you should be waiting for your counter trend line to take your entry. So most people make mistakes here, like you see some people doing something like this, they actually draw trend lines through the body, like they draw it on the body. So sometimes you see them drawing on the body and on the wick. From my experience, I would advise that you don't draw on the body and the wick at the same time. You pick one and stick with it. You either draw the body or you draw the wick. I prefer drawing the wick even my support and resistance levels, I prefer joining on the week. It's what has actually worked for me. So over time, I've actually come to understand that I prefer joining with the week, not the body. So you have to be consistent with it so you can actually see what works out for you. And sometimes you might also want to draw a trend line and you want to zoom out. Zooming out doesn't actually help you that much. It only helps you to draw trend lines if you're trading for, let's say, day trading or swing trading. And if you're trading something like swing trades or position size trading, what advice and what I actually do is I don't zoom out that much. This is enough for me because even if I'm coming in and I want to trade, I don't need all this from this information from here to this point. I don't really need it in terms of channel. I might just channel, but I'm not using it currently. What I actually use is the information from this same point down here, this resistance swing, because this swing here, this information, this is what I need, this is what I need, and this is what I actually use. Because when I go down to 1 hour, I don't look at this part like this of the chart. I don't look at this part. This is what I want to see. Yes, the only thing that I might look at here is price is looking at these lows, but I don't actually use it. So zooming out doesn't really help you. It only paints the bigger picture, and sometimes it might even cloud your judgment because expecting price to do what the chart is zoomed out for, the higher time chart is actually telling you to do. So it doesn't always help. Zooming out won't always help you. One other thing you should actually do is when your trend line breaks, when your trend line breaks and it's no longer in line with the current chart, like what happened here. You should adjust the trend line, don't force it. If it breaks slightly but respects the same zone, adjust. Don't withdraw on every candle. You can easily just pull it up from here, which it was before, which was relevant before, to the current one that is actually relevant now. This is the current one that is currently relevant. So you keep it at this high and then watch out for correction. Rather than you drawing and down and making your screen messy. Though most people actually live there somewhere here and they still understand it, but this actually applies to pros. If you are coming up, you actually need to adjust your trend line so you understand every trend line that is on the chart. Personally, I always adjust mine. So what you actually want to do is you want to pair this up with either support and resistance or supply and demand. I advise that you blend this with support and resistance or supply and demand, and you should actually wait to see price return to your trend line on 15 minutes. Your trend line and your previous support level or supply zone, in this case a downtrend, before you actually act, because this strategy requires patience. It actually requires patience to actually see your win rate improve and your trading system and everything improve. It requires patience. So always remember that these trend lines are not just lines. There are zones that traders globally actually react to. These trend lines represent trader psychology and behavior from around the world. Because if you watch now, most of these trend lines actually tally with previous support and previous resistance zones. Like if you watch this one here, this is previous previous resistance zone, and there's a trend line here, but that's the 1 hour trend line. I will dive deeper. Like before you be through this series of trend lines that I'm going to drop, you should actually understand how to use trend lines to your advantage and actually how to use them to take trades that will actually win. From this low here, the trend line that came out here, you see the previous resistance, and price also tested it in line with the trend line. This one also is another resistance here in line with trend line. Don't just think that you are the only one reacting from these zones. This trend line is confluence with other zones that traders around the world react to. That's what gives it power. They are not just lines. That's why I say you should mix them with support and resistance and supply and demand, because they give you more context to what you're actually trading. So now you know how to drop perfect trend lines without confusion. In the next video, I'll be explaining how to trade bounces and breakouts using these same lines. Hit the like button, subscribe, and keep matching the trend line with the YouTube studies map. I'm dropping more, so stay tuned. More, like this series is going to actually help most of the beginner traders to understand trend line like never before.